Alright guys, what's up? It's Wednesday, June 24th. I cannot believe I'm having to make this clip for this next weekend's video, but when I opened the door to the coop this morning, all the girls are normally already down on the ground in the coop, and they all came out. My old lady, the Barred Rock, she came out, but she was like almost like squatting and just like low walking. Like she didn't stretch out and walk like a normal chicken. She was more closer to the ground. I think she hurt herself real badly, maybe getting off the perch. I know or the roost. I know she's used to just flying right out of the door area when the door isn't there. So I don't know if it was kind of dark. She flew off the roost and hit the door possibly and broke something. But I just got home from work and she is not looking good. I cannot believe this is happening. Unbelievable. Let's take a look. Hi, baby. You okay? You're not okay, I know that. But what happened to you? I've already checked her wings and stuff. I don't know if she broke something in her back possibly or her neck. I have no clue, but my poor old lady. This is nuts, man. Like 3 chickens in a month's time or something. It's terrible. I don't know what to say, guys. This is her roost right there by the window. She's loved it all these times. And this door was never on here, okay? So she would go from there and she would just fly directly out into here every morning. Now, not for nothing, I've had the door up almost pretty close to a week now, 4 to 5 days, and I haven't had an issue. But she is getting older, you know, she kind of hobbles a little, so she might have just, she might have just hurt herself in here somehow. Golly. You can't die, baby. Who's gonna pick all the sticker pads off of my shoes? See, she can't walk at all. Sorry, such a downer portion of the video, but the reality is the reality. I'm not going to show just good things. Alright, I'm done. Okay guys, so it's Friday after work. I was just out by the garden looking at my plants like I always do, and I came across these leaves on the green bean plants. They're folded over, they're tucked in. The leaves are folded over and like tucked in like there's something inside of there. So let's take a look. Here's another one that's totally sealed up. Aha. This one has a little larvae of some sort in there. See that? And this one as well has a larvae in it. So I'm glad I found these, because I'm sure it's something that will eat the plant eventually. There's another one. If you know what kind of larvae that is, comment below. So I'm definitely glad I found these. I'm gonna go look for more now, of course. I don't want to start getting an infestation on my green beans, so I'm gonna go back, look for some more leaves that are made up for cocoons, for larvae, and we're gonna just take them off the plant. Nip it in the bud. These are just gonna get thrown outside. Check out the size of this moth I found dead in on my workbench. Man, got some crazy looking bugs here in Florida. Let's just get this out of the way right now, that way we can do the rest of the video on a better note. But yes, my older mama, Barred Rock, did pass away yesterday. 3 chickens in about 3 weeks, man. I tell you, it's you know, you just start second guessing. Are you doing the right stuff for these chickens? I mean, are you doing something wrong? And that's just how you think initially, obviously. I mean, 3 in 3 weeks is nuts. But no, I'm not doing anything wrong. You know, maybe some procedures need to be revamped, like getting back to locking them up so raccoons or something out of the blue doesn't come and get one of them. But hold on. But yeah, you start to second guess yourself. But I ain't doing nothing wrong. I mean, the chickens they have a great life. They get fed good. They are usually very healthy animals, very friendly. They're not stressed out. I don't, you know, I try not to stress them out. I raise them as young babies. They get used to us, so I don't think overall anything is wrong with what I'm doing. The chickens, you know, one did get sick, I think, with that water belly issue, the black Australorp, and that sucked. Maybe I could have did something quicker to help her. Again, it's just stuff you gotta learn. I've been raising backyard chickens for a little over a decade now here, so I mean, I understand a lot of it, but I'm still learning stuff too, like the water belly with the black Australorp. Probably could have did something to maybe help her, maybe not. The other one with the raccoon, yes, I could be locking him up diligently. I've never had a problem, but now you never say never, right? So, and then the barred rock, just something happened in the coop that night. It got hurt. She either flew off and hit something, or maybe the little young girls now in there being a little rowdy on the roost knocked her off, you know, because her feet were getting a little older. She wasn't as good as on the grip, so I don't know. Anyway, besides that, we're going to keep this weekend going good. We're going to get a good weekend out of it. One thing I did do is I buried her in the banana patch this time. That way we can fertilize that soil. She can use her wonderful body to fertilize the bananas for maybe next season's bananas, you know. And I also found one of those, you know how she liked to eat the sticker pads off my shoes? So I found one of those plants and I ripped it up and I threw it on top there for her. I don't know, just a little sentiment, but I'm going to miss her. I had her for over 4 years, so she was definitely the oldest chicken I had, and, you know, she was cool. What you making, Ty?
Chicken. My daddy's is I'm gonna copy it because I like his eyes.
We just blew up some gloves. I thought it looked like a chicken, so there we go. Alright, good morning. It is Saturday, June 27th. It is time to get working. We got some stuff to do today, guys. But the first thing I'm going to do is get some food in me. Then we'll get to work. Alright, guys, so our first projects are going to be out by the chicken coop. Let's go get started on that. We'll get that work done. And then we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, we did it. We just went to Tractor Supply, picked up 4 new babies, 2 leghorns, and 2 golden sex links. So, there are the new babies, keeping the flock going. We're not going to quit on them. We're going to keep the flock going, so we had to get some. You excited? Okay, get out of here. That's weird. Anyway, oh yeah. And here's Tyler's chickens.
Nice. They're very bouncy.
Nice glove chicken heads.
No, they're chickens, but they're bouncy. And messy. Chickens.
Okay, so yeah, guys, we had to do it. We had to go get more babies. I mean, we only had the 3 young ones now, so I got to keep the flock going. That's just what I do. I've been doing it for over a decade, like I said. So things happen. You got to get back up, though, and keep rolling. And that's just what I do. So anyway, we got babies inside again. We got the big girls now. Now the big girls out here. And one thing I want to do today is I want to help them with this field. Because this thing is just overrun with really big vines. These big old flowers here, I mean, they pull real easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to help them out. I'm going to start getting some of this overgrowth out of here. That way the grasses can start growing naturally for them. And they don't really like going in there too much. They haven't spent much time in there. Huh, girls? You'll come out here now because Daddy's out here, huh? Well, let's help you get this cleaned up a little bit. Alright, so wood and improvement. There's my massive pile of vegetation. That is huge. Huge pile. But anyway, look at it now. Now they can see they have room to roam around. It's getting better. Man, that is a big pile. I can't believe how much stuff was growing in here. Oh, anyway, got that all pulled out. There they are already. I made a little path back there. I intentionally made a path so they can go hide under this. I'm going to leave all that there, because if they ever have any danger from the air, they can run right back in there and go hide. So they like it also. I almost forgot we even had this orange tree in here in the whiskey barrel. It was so covered in vines I didn't even see it. So anyway, what I did is I gave it some love, and I went out into the chicken run and dug up some of the straw and leaves and poop compost that they make and topped it off. So hopefully that'll help it. That thing's never produced anything. A couple of flowers here and there, but that's about it. And I like that plant, the big leafed plant like that. That's pretty cool. So we're gonna leave that there. Yeah, so that's it. They have a little more room now back in here, and they'll probably start enjoying it better. I'm gonna move all these logs away because Blue likes to jump up on logs and then try and fly, and I don't want her trying to fly over the fence. So I'm going to move those logs out of the way so there's no perfect angle for her to do that. But that's it for the chicken field. It is somewhat tamed. Alright, anyway, I am going to take a break, dry off, wash off. I'm pretty nasty. My hat is literally dripping with sweat. Look at that. That's getting work done, guys, out here in the 90 degree weather. Wow, just cuddled in there, aren't you?
Alright, so they should come Tuesday, okay? So you'll have a packet with Mommy's name on it.
What day is it?
Today is
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
June 30th.
All you can see is the butt of that one because she's wedged under everybody. Alright, so when I went to Tractor Supply, Molly, can you move? Thank you. Silly girl. When I went to Tractor Supply, they had a clearance rack, and on it was this Purina Flock Razor Crumbles poultry feed. The bag was cut open, so they had it all taped up, but it was half price, so I paid $7 for it. So I picked that up along with the organic egg layer crumbles. So I'm just going to mix them together. In here I have a Rubbermaid in here, and I also have a little bit of the scratch grain left. I forgot to get more of that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out this tub, and I'm going to mix it all in there along with some of the scratch grains. That way I ain't got to scoop out of each bag every morning. I could just have it all pre-mixed, ready to go. Let me start with this Flock Razor. You can definitely see a difference between the two layer crumbles, so I'm glad I'm mixing them together. There. Alright, so the next thing I need to do here in the chicken area for maintenance is clean out this coop a little bit. Obviously they roost usually up there, which means they poop down there. So I want to get that all cleaned up. Maybe take the top layer of this straw off and throw it out here. And then we will add some new bedding into the coop. This time I'm going to bag a lot of the stuff with the manure in it, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. That's some good fertilizer once it breaks down, guys. Okay, so the coop is all cleaned out. We added some of that straw down here to break down, get mixed in, and we took a bag of some straw and a lot of the manure from in the coop, and let's go see why. So as you all know, when I go and clean out the coop, I normally get a bale of straw from the feed store. Well, that's all the way up in Sarasota. I haven't been going to the feed store anymore because Tractor Supply is right up the road. But they don't really have bales of straw. They have bales of hay, but not straw. So I went with a bag of the pine shavings, the bigger flakes, I guess they call it. There's some that are extra fine and some are flakes. So grabbed a big bag of the pine shavings, figured I'd try it out. It will compost probably a little quicker than the straw, but let me show you the problem I have with it. But when I got home and looked at the bottom of the bag, it was wet. Inside was all wet, so there was even a couple of little spots that had some like green mold that I have taken out. Actually, here's a piece right here. See that? Has some green mold on it. So I'm just laying it out on a tarp, letting it dry in the sun, and we'll go from there. And now that I see this, I don't really need this much at the moment because there was still a whole lot of straw in the coop when I was done cleaning it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll bag it in a big black garbage bag, possibly. I don't know. First, I'm letting it dry. Alright, so we got a lot of good work done over there by the chickens. The coop is clean. The field is cleared out. We mixed their feed all together. It's ready to roll. The bedding's out front drying. Live and learn. Anyway, now we're on the side of the house. We are going to talk a little bit about compost. Okay, here's my situation. Obviously, everyone knows, I hope everyone should know, that compost is a key component in growing good food out in the garden. So I need to get my compost system really going better. Here's my situation. I compost in the chicken run, like you see. I put all my grass clippings, my leaves, all that stuff in there. But I've been throwing away quite a bit of our food matter because I don't want to throw that in there and let it sit overnight, because then the rodents come. And I have rodents roaming around. It's just how it is. So I don't want to continue to add food to that system where rodents can be attracted to it, right? So what I have begun to do is I have this big green Rubbermaid down here, and I've been adding leaves in there. I added a bag of grass clippings from last mow, and I've started to add my food scraps in there as well to compost. So let me show you what I'm doing here. And let me just say, I did not really consciously start this compost in here. This used to be my soil bin, right? So I had a bunch of soil in there, and then leaves started falling in there just naturally. Some rain came, and one day I looked inside, because you can see there's spaces there where the lid is, so the water was getting in, it was keeping it moist. I looked inside and it was looking beautiful, like compost. I'm like, wait a minute, I need to start adding more stuff to it. So let's take a look at what we got. This layer here is just a bunch of those viney flowers that I was clearing out in the chickens area. I cleared these out over here on the side of the house last week, and I just piled them on here. So I just piled them on there, and then underneath that is a black plastic bag, and under there, though, is my new compost pile. And as you can see, it's breaking down nicely. Nice and dark. So as you can see, it's starting to break down nice. Look at these leaves, are already all getting nice and black. And I just mixed it all together the other day. But look at that. That's looking really good. It's in this container. So now what I can do is I just add scraps to it. I cover it with that black bag. And then all that thick layer of weeds on the top, plus the cover, it just kind of keeps stuff out of it. So I'm just going to add some kitchen scraps now. I got some eggshells, some seaweed, cut up broccoli stems, some onions, just whatever. Just throw it in there. But while I was cleaning the coop, I was like, hey, we might as well, oh look, we even got some little fish in there. Some little fish that we were eating. So now while I was cleaning the coop, I figured why not add some of the chicken manure in here. Get it composting right in here with it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just push that in there like that. We're gonna add that. We'll put this layer of the black bag on there. Put back my weeds. So now I'm able to start composting my food scraps again and not worry too much about rodents being attracted to it. So what I'll do is I'll keep adding food scraps to the top for the next few days, and then I'll come back out and then I mix it all in after a couple of days and just keep adding, keep mixing, keep adding, keep mixing until this thing will be full of great compost that we can throw in the garden. And now we just added that chicken manure that's really going to make it even more fertile than ever. So that's going to be my new way of composting. It's in a container, so when it rains it doesn't just leach all out into the ground. I think this container is cracked underneath, so water can get out of it, but it won't leach out too much nutrition. So I think it'll be a cool system. We'll watch it and monitor it. And as you can see, it's a good sized Rubbermaid. I mean, it's huge, so it can definitely hold a lot of matter. So yeah, I'm real excited to see how that compost bin is going to work. I mean, it's working great right now, and I think it's just going to help me be able to add food scraps into that versus not wanting to do it in the chicken run. So in the chicken run, I'm still going to compost, but it'll just be organic matter, leaves, grass clippings, and their manure. That's it. I'm not going to add any other stuff to that. So I could always take from there, dig out some, and add it to that compost pile that has all the food and grass clippings and leaves as well. So it's going to be a good system. I think it'll help me make more compost and save my food scraps, keep them on the property versus throwing them out. So it's cool. Chickens are doing good. Now that they have that cleaned out field, that's going to be a lot better for them as well when they get to go out. They only get to go out now when I'm home. So, oh, I pulled the game camera today. So I got to go look through all the clips for the week, see if I see anything. If not, I won't put nothing up, but I don't know, maybe we'll catch something in the act. New babies, 2 leghorns, 2 golden sex links. So we're going to have some white eggs. This will be probably the first time I've had a chicken that lays white eggs. I've always gotten chickens that lay big brown ones. I don't know. But it'll be neat to have a little mixture now. I think we're going to be all right as far as the flock goes. I think what happened with the 3 is, I mean, it happened. It's life, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. That's kind of a fluke thing. 3 in 3 weeks. That was pretty weird, but I think we're going to get calmed down. The flock's going to be fine. We're going to have 7 chickens now. That's more than what I was anticipating, but it is what it is. Compost is going, so that'll be cool. I'm hoping that compost will be done before the fall gardening, which it should be. So we'll keep turning it, make sure it's moist, just to speed up the process and get it going. I found a black bag of the leaves that we bagged up last season, buried in here just now. So I was like, let me dump them into the compost. Look at the size of this guy. Look at that. This is the leaf mold that we did. Look at this stuff. This is golden right here, guys. Beautiful. Black organic matter. That worm just went in there. We probably got a couple more worms in here too. Oh yeah. Whew, that is beautiful. I think I might have another bag of that stuff down here. I do. Oh boy. Oh, it's ripping the bag apart. Let me get this out as well. There's another big one. Look at it. Ah! Holy crap, these things are huge. There's another one. Oh, and this is such black, beautiful, beautiful compost. Now them worms can feed on what I put in. There's another one. Plenty of worms. That's what I'm talking about. And I got another bag here. Oh, this is going to be awesome. That is so encouraging. I tell you what, add your leaves to them black bags in the season and just leave them out. This is beautiful stuff. Rich, dark, just awesome. And now I added worms into the system. Perfect. That's how I'm going to end the weekend. That compost looked amazing. That leaf mold compost, that just reinvigorated me to definitely be using the black bags, fill them with all the leaves, let them sit. That stuff is beautiful. Them big worms in there, I'm excited about that, guys. So that just made my weekend way happier. So that's cool. That compost looks great. I never produced anything that looked that good, so I'm real excited about that. I'm happy to mix it in with the chicken manure and stuff. We're gonna have some good stuff there. Anyway, I still have to go transplant those little tomato plants that we seeded out a couple months, about a month ago. They're getting pretty big for those little cups, so I gotta transplant them. I gotta wait for this bedding to dry, and that's about it. I'm just gonna be hanging out. I already know my next video, and it might be midweek, so look out for a video possibly middle of the week, because I might start that project later. So anyway, you guys have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next time.